fast forward to, I'd say let's start it with me probably on 15, 16 when I get into the moving business. I've got two sisters, two older sisters. I'm the baby of the family as well.
So you're supposed to be the brawn, like moving into the next generation.
Exactly.
Welcome back to Movified. I'm your host, Mark Hirschi, owner of Salmon's Moving and Stores, located in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. We are not in BC. We're in the humid, hot, warm, mosquito-ridden St. Pete's, Florida. I'm just joking. It's not that bad. It's actually quite nice weather here. We're having such a great time. We're at the Moving Tiny Retreat. It is day one, and I have Sonny here with All Seasons Moving and Storage out in Houston, Texas. Sonny, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it, Mark. I appreciate
No problem.
you having me on the show, and been a big fan for the past, I'd say, year almost now, since I've been kind of back in the moving industry.
That's great.
You're like one of the first persons that I was like looking at on YouTube, and I'm constantly watching you and Steve, right? They're always on the show together.
That's great. That's great. I love it. Listen, I appreciate you and supporting Movified at all. You know, it's been a great experience for myself. I've had so many moving company owners come up to us and say, hey, listen, we love you and Steven. You guys are killing it. We love the fact that the nuggets that you're throwing out there have helped grow my moving company to the next level. So this is what we're all about. This is why we do Movified. This is why we sit down with moving company owners as they're growing, because why reinvent the wheel when we can learn from one another and take it to the next level, right? So, Sonny, like it's funny. He said to me just before, he's like, this is the first podcast, it's the first kind of interview process I've ever been in. So I got to be nice and kind to him, which I highly doubt I will be. But you are not just hey, listen, I work for a moving company and I decided to get into moving. You are the third generation.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm a third generation mover. So when
give me the backstory. I want the origin.
Yeah, the origin. Go back to India, where my parents are originally from. When my family started to immigrate here to America, they didn't really have so much of a skill set. And my dad's uncle was actually the one who started in the moving business. So he was actually a professor by day, and then on the weekends, he had a little moving business that he was operating as well. In between classes as well. You might get a couple of deliveries in here.
This is obviously a long time ago,
this is
right?
back in the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, so we go back all the way to the 70s. And eventually, my mom and my dad decided to venture off and start their own company. And they were a great duo. My mom was really kind of the brains of the operation, I'll say, and my dad was the muscles behind it. So my mom was the one setting up the moves.
Most wives are.
Definitely, yeah. So, she was the one who was answering the calls. She was the one who was figuring out where we marketing, the whole admin, everything on the back end.
Did she go to school for this? Did she study this?
She had no experience besides kind of what she observed my uncle and just watching them. She had no formal training. Both of my parents had, besides like a high school level education, really. My dad went to college a little bit in India, but he was not really. He was a weightlifter in college, actually.
A weightlifter.
He had a scholarship to go to to do weightlifting in college.
Wow.
So, like I said, he was the muscle behind the things, behind the business, and my mom was the brains behind it. And they were able to scale it to a point where I remember peak, we had about 6 trucks.
Okay.
And we had a lot of family.
At what location?
As well.
In Houston as well?
Just Houston.
Okay.
And just Houston. Specifically in Sugar Land, which is a little southwest of Houston, about 20 minutes outside of Houston. So they did things like a certain way for a long time, and they didn't really adapt with the times. And life happened as well. They had 3 kids. They were putting through college, through school, and et cetera. Kids are not expensive. And one thing they did is they started investing into real estate. So I think that kind of took a little bit more of their energy and focus. So moving kind of got the back end of it. And they still definitely had like their reputation that was keeping them somewhat busy and keeping their guys busy, but they weren't focused on like growing and expanding the business. And so fast forward to, I'd say let's start it with me probably on 15, 16 when I get into the moving business.
Brothers, sisters?
I've got 2 sisters.
Okay.
2 older sisters. I'm
So
the
that's-
baby of the family as well.
Right. So you're supposed to be the brawn, like moving into the next generation.
Exactly. So but that's actually the thing as well. So my parents did not encourage me to get into moving. And by seeing my parents, most of my mom, right? Again, she's the one, the brains behind everything. She really was adamant about me going to school, getting a regular 9-to-5 job, something where I could get all the benefits of not being a business owner, or not dealing with the stresses of being a business owner, maybe, and kind of living a more of a regular, balanced life. As we all know with moving,
It's hard
right?
though when it's in your genes. It's like the natural,
Totally.
parents are an entrepreneur, family,
Right.
and the lineage.
So
yeah.
I was constantly fighting that. I wanted to go into the entrepreneur
Sure.
route. But, being like the good kid, I did go to school. I got my degree, and I decided to pursue that kind of the corporate route. Worked a couple corporate jobs. And then in the back of my head, I always knew, though, that I wanted to get back into moving.
Right.
And it just my dad's health wasn't doing too well. So I was in San Francisco at the time. I was working for Stanley Black & Decker. I was managing like a $50-something million account, basically in charge of the Home Depots of like all of Northern California going into Utah. So I had like 50-something Home Depots that I'm like managing.
Right.
I
And if I
decided
can do
to
that,
uplift, yeah.
I can run a moving company. Come on, Mom.
Right.
Figure it out now.
One of my job experiences that I had when I left Houston and went to California, was I actually worked with a moving company as well for about a year and a half. And shout out to Shannon Moving and Storage, great company. If you're in San Francisco Bay Area, you need movers, hit them up. Keith Mulligan, one of the owners over there, kind of took me under his wing, and he was very transparent about everything. And I learned a lot. I learned what a moving company looked like that actually had a CRM. At the time, my parents were still on paper and pen, and we had a bunch of books and copies of things, just paper, right? Just chunks of it everywhere. And I used to hate it. I hated it. And one of the things I picked up was Supermove. And that's,
Shout out to Supermove.
Shout out to Supermove. But yeah, having
Juan
a
June,
CRM
Ryan
in place,
Marsh, guys killing it.
they've been killing it. And it's just, adapting to the times, right? So, I mean,
Which is so true. That's the biggest conversation that's been going on, right? It's what do you say to the old school movers that are not adapting to AI? And we've had on the show, it's like, get out, right? You might as well close up shop, sell your business, because you have to adapt to the times. Yeah. And you're also running yourself ragged. It's like you can look at all the people that are running around in your office and going, look, if we just use this tool or that tool, we could actually save so much expenses that are being sillily paid to somebody in the office that's maybe working 3-4 hours a day, but we're paying them 8 hours and they're just dragging out their entire day. Or why am I stressing out about numbers or dealing with my guys on the weekends when I can just open up on a cloud-based program and see everything that's going on and self-dispatch?
Going back to what I said, pen and paper, what my parents were doing. How are you supposed to pull up, revenue reports or any sort of report? You got to pull out the book and you got to go to that page or something, right? So they were very old school in that way. So yeah, and I think one of the things that they mentioned at the Titan retreat here, so I can't remember who said it, but if you look at it, moving companies, we're not just movers, we're going to eventually become these technology companies that do moving on the side. So I think that's really where the future is right now with moving, is figuring out what processes, what systems, how can you incorporate technology into your business. And I think that's again, a lot of people are gonna fall behind, people that are at Titan Retreat or not. So
before we ever started using a moving CRM, someone asked me, could you 10x what you're doing right now with the current systems and processes you have in place? And I said no. And so he was like, well, then you need to just pull the trigger on the software. And then I saw Smart Moving and it was game over.
Austin joined thousands of moving owners on Smart Moving in 2021. Since then, he's more than doubled his business.
And I always compare Smart Moving to Apple products. It's just so simple, so easy to use. And that's really what's allowed my team to scale and now have 2 branches. And last year we scaled Central Coast Moving over 50% growth.
If you're ready to turn your moving company into a machine that drives profit, not chaos, try Smart Moving.
Hey everyone, Matty Mailers here, the guy who pioneered handwritten letters for the moving industry. Why? Because my competition at my moving company was using the same stock postcards as me, and my mailing company didn't care. So I created a better way. Here's some mind-blowing results in July. Miracle Movers Utah closed $93,000 using our handwritten letter strategy. With our campaigns, you can forget about the guessing games. You get a trackable phone number, daily photo proof, an incredible design team, and I'm also included. All letters stop at me for approval before they ever leave our facility. Right now, Movified listeners get 1,000 golden tickets stuffed in our genuine handwritten letters completely free. Plus, I'm going to throw in bulk realtor data for up to 5 counties. What are you waiting for? Moving Letters AI. Stop competing, start dominating.
Now, shout out to Titan Retreat. You guys get your tickets for next year. If you're not at this event, you're missing out. The transition. You're coming in, you're taking over management, you're taking over the business. You brought in Supermove to try and ease up how production should look like. What is one thing that you're going to go back and implement as soon as you leave this trip that you want to make sure is ready for 2026?
Really putting a big focus on our marketing. So stepping back into the business, I wanted to relearn everything from the ground up. So understanding how the crew's looking at the job, how our customers looking at the job, again, from ground up, just everything. So I think right now we're really pushing to figure out what avenues of marketing are going to make the most sense. I think online marketing, social media marketing, there's definitely a huge potential in that. And that's an area that at the moment we're honestly not doing anything at all. So that's something, and I see you hopping on your phone, and I think that's great. I mean, there's moments all the time, right? And I think until you actually do it, you're going to constantly just overthink it. What should I do? Where should I,
one of those things that we heard this morning, right? We all have to brush our teeth in the morning. You should have the same amount of time to go, I got to put some kind of content out, right? Just make that work, because your brand identity is everything. And you think that my moving trucks that are out today, okay, I got 6 moving trucks, they're my brand, they're marketing, they're driving around town so the people see my trucks. What are the person that's not out that day? What are the persons that's just scrolling on their phone? So you want to be on their feed. You want to be front and center. You want to be putting out so much content that all they see is you. I was in a meeting on Tuesday, and one of the ladies from another moving company said to me, she goes, every time I open up my phone, I see either your podcast or your moving company on a feed. And it's the power of brand awareness. You're just always there. And I love it. I mean, this is what Movified is all about. Coming to an event like this and seeing so many supporters, everybody's wearing the t-shirts, everybody's like that. It's the brand. And when you have a moving company, when you have any business, it's the brand. And you got to get out there and do it. You can't just sit back in your office and hope that the SEO and the marketing that you're doing online is working. You need to get out there and market yourself.
Definitely. And I think it's staying consistent. That's the biggest thing. I think, you can do it once and you think you did great and you give yourself a little pat on the shoulder. Look at this great video I made.
Today.
Oh,
I
wow.
posted so much.
I got this many views on it. And hey, keep it going. Once you get your foot off the pedal, there's someone out there who's going, pedal to the metal the whole time, right? So, and like you said, that repetitiveness and seeing that brand constantly, that's how you make your name known, right?
Sure.
So, really exciting stuff.
I love that.
If you're considering Snowball, just do it.
Snowball creates done-for-you referral programs for moving companies so you can turn happy customers into new revenue without lifting a finger. And the results speak for themselves.
In less than a year, we've collected over 2,000 referrals.
We generated over $200,000 of revenue that cost about $5,000 to do it.
I believe we had 4 or 5 the very first day.
The companies winning with Snowball are the ones that already care about their customers. We just help turn that into new business through human outreach and customer nurturing.
Snowball is part of the arsenal of tools that I recommend to my clients because it works.
Being found on the second page of Google, is literally like having a billboard in the middle of the desert. Yo mama ain't gonna see it. No one's gonna see it. You're on the second page of Google, no one's gonna call, no one's gonna book. Here is the deal. If your business is not ranking on the top of Google, that means your competitors are going to be stealing your customers every single day. So at Rotate Digital, we don't play any guessing games. We use data-driven SEO strategies to make sure Google finds you first so that these Google searches turn into your customers, not your competitors' customers. How do we do it? We do it through AI-driven keyword optimization, exclusive blog networks, backlinking strategies, and honestly, the secret stuff, the proprietary lead attribution software. So what do you get as a result? You get not only good marketing, but now you get clarity into what is bringing you more revenue. So if that's something you want to do, you want to make sure your leads find you and not your competition, go ahead and go to rotatedigital.com, schedule a call, and we'll help you take your business to the top of Google.
Hey, it's Mark Hirschi with Movified. I am here with Kurt Hintz from Max Moving and Storage. I got a couple of questions for you. Are you ready for a Dolly Dash moment?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. So here we go. What would you say is the biggest needle changer that you've implemented in this year for 2025?
I think really getting involved in the sales process and the actual pitch down to the granular level of what my sales team does to sell the jobs. So really making sure that they're hitting all the steps in the process, whether it's from valuation to upsell materials, to adding opportunities for packing, and really just going that extra steps to make sure that we're covering and maximizing the opportunities that are coming through the door. And also making sure that everybody's selling the value of the company, not just an hourly rate. Because if you're trying to sell on price, you're going to lose on price. So really just getting into the weeds more on that has made it a nice impact. I mean, we're seeing an increase in sales, both on bookings with less opportunities. So year to date, that's been something I'm very proud of. We're booking more, selling more, completing more at a higher profit margin with less leads.
Your company and yourself are very strong on numbers, highly profitable moving company. You see it all the time when you're looking and talking to other moving companies going, geez, like, why are you not profitable? What's one key advice that you'd give a moving company owner that they should focus on right off the bat, especially for 2026, to make sure that they're going to be profitable?
Consistent data, making sure the data is clean. Because if you don't have the clean data, you don't have anything. So it's dirty in, dirty out. It's harder than it looks. There's more to it than what you think. And that can be kind of discouraging as you start to get into the weeds of the data and try to understand, like, is this accurate and consistent, and making sure that your team is doing the steps properly. So that can be kind of defeating when you go in and try to find something and you realize it's not clean. But once you get through that process, it took me about 2 years to really dial that in. So the sooner you get used to validating that the data is accurate, the better.
I've been told through the grapevine that your movers shrink wrap box springs.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Mattress bags for all.
We're like going back. I love the question. It's not even a question. It's a fact. What would you say to those, especially when you're trying to do sales and you're pushing like, hey, we can upsell in this area, we can upsell in that area. If you found out another moving company was doing the same scenario that you are, what other opportunities could a moving company upsell that they can recommend to their staff that would be profitable and beneficial?
Oh, I mean, besides the obvious TV cartons, but also lamps, pictures. It's an easy upsell, and it doesn't take any time. You don't have to have a bunch of extra materials. You just need to have those cartons on the truck. So lamps for sure, TV cartons obviously, and then pictures and mirrors.
Last question, because our time is limited. It's supposed to be a Dolly Dash, and I feel like he's talking forever. Is that I ask this all the time. For all of us, we go as moving company owners. We go to so many conferences. We go all over the place. We pack our bags. What is like the most common thing that you seem to always forget when heading to these kind of conferences?
When I look back at my own business, it's really just making sure that I have all of my policies and procedures up to date, because they get out of date fast because things change quickly. Okay. So even like the way the software works, so making sure that your SOPs are up to date.
Right.
So
no,
what about forget that?
And so what about for like when you're packing and you're moving, or like when you are packing, when you're actually going out and traveling, is there something that you tend to always forget to pack?
Oh, and for myself?
For yourself?
No,
Not for
never.
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 Super
Never
organized.
forget anything.
Perfect.
Yes.
I love it. This has been a Dolly Dash moment. Thank you so much, Kurt, and stay movified.
What's up, guys? It's Austin Yarrow with the Moving Army. If you're listening to this podcast, I'm sure you're crushing it, you're growing your business, and you don't need any help. Majority of you probably don't. But the thing is that information alone isn't enough. If you're looking for someone to hold you accountable, work with you, and collaborate with others in our industry with teams that are killing it, crushing it, you need to join the Moving Army. This is my invitation to you. You can text my personal cell, 805-441-6118. I'll see you soon and wait for your call. Join the Moving Army today.
What was some of the biggest struggles that you found, other than like the paper to pen and so much paperwork and everything else within the moving company? What were some of those big struggles that you didn't even realize your parents were having to deal with day to day, day in and day out?
I would say just being able to easily identify things in your business. So like being able to pull KPIs and stuff like that. I think that was very overlooked.
That wasn't being done in the company.
Yeah. So I think it was, but I don't think in an efficient manner. Again, using technology to be able to instantly pull things, it makes you able to make decisions quicker as well, right? I think that was probably one of the bigger things. That, and also being accountable for where you're pulling in business from. So, I mean, they would put out a bunch of campaigns for different things, but they didn't necessarily keep track of where they were generating these leads from. So how are you supposed to, tweak things if you don't know exactly what's working, what's not? So,
well, that's the goal setting, right? I mean, listen, you can run your business and kind of go day in and day out and just be that hamster running the wheel over and over and over again. But if you aren't implementing KPIs and some type of goal setting, something that you can track, something that you can actually look back on and go, hey, like we did this marketing play, it did not work. Here's the numbers to show. Then going, well, we tried for 3 months. We really don't know if we got a lead or not. There was nothing in there. Or, hey, this is the goal for the year for your salespeople, but what's happening each month, right? Where are they hitting it? Are they hitting that goal? Are they not hitting that goal? What can we do to make it better? So to me, like that's so important when you're implementing it. So I think that's great on there. Sonny, moving into 2026, if you're given $1 million, what would you invest in?
I don't know. There's a lot of things, but one thing that I've been really looking into now, we do have storage in our name, but we don't own a storage facility. My parents did have storage a while back. We sold off storage. We never took it out of the name though. So I do want to definitely go back, get back into storage. So yeah, I don't know, maybe a down payment on some storage. Maybe I'll talk to you about that as well.
You got a couple episodes on those.
Yeah.
On how to be the most efficient on storage. And that I would highly recommend you get into for sure.
Hi, I'm Mark Hirschi with Salmon's Moving and Storage. Today, I want to talk about Tighten Up training. Why? Because this is Netflix grade quality training. It's not those old videos and VHSs that you got hiding in your office somewhere. It's online, it's easy to use, they're short videos, but they get to the point. My new employees, these guys run through these training programs, there's tests at the end, and they're coming out going, oh, I'm ready to rock. So if you haven't checked out Tighten Up training yet, get a demo done, get on board. Guess what else is there? Online portals for my sales staff. Can you believe it? These guys can learn how to overcome objections and book more leads today. So what are you waiting for? Go check out Tighten Up training today.
Hey, it's Mark with Movified, and I'm here to talk about Canada Home Listings. They are the only direct mailer service built specifically for household good movers in Canada. That's right, my hometown. They help moving companies reach homeowners the moment they list their home with proven mail campaigns that drive results. And for the Movified listeners, they're offering exclusive promotions you won't find anywhere else. So go check them out today. Go online, go do your thing, and go find them. Canada Home Listings, right now. Go. and then keep watching the show.
Listen, Sonny, it's been great to have you on the show. I really love your origin story. I think it's amazing, especially when you can go through the generations, see the cracks, go in there, be able to fix it, and then 10x your company. So congratulations on the new venture. I'd love to keep watching you. I want to see where you're at next year. I'm going to call you out. Like, I want to see constant growth, and I want to see a warehouse by the time I see you next October.
Sounds like it would be
All
done.
right. If you don't, we're deleting all of this episode completely offline. You can have it for a couple months, but like, that's it. You got a 12-month plan. There's your goal. You're getting a warehouse, whether it's a down payment on a warehouse to start something off, or you're watching our episodes on how to be effective to make money and grow your business. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate
For
it.
all those that are listening and watching, make sure you're tuning in, subscribe, like it. You know, we just want to see your comments. Where are you at in your business? Did you take over the business from your family? How did that look like? Because we want to talk to you. We want to hear from you. Was this experience very similar to where you're at right now? That's what we want to know. So make sure you comment. We'd love to hear your feedback. And for all those, stay movified.